Thanks, man. Cool. All right. All right. You guys ready?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
All right. Good to go over there, Brock? Cool. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, well. Oh, well. Thanks. All right. Okay. All right. Ready?
You're like,
Yeah, I got to get in the zone. Let him get a little drink in.
I feel like you guys both have bums and I have a liquid death, so this is we're a little off here.
I just need a muffin.
Sponsored by Hummus Fit. Line them across.
Yeah, that would be sweet.
It's literally just Steven's 34 black and whites.
You can have like a BB, a buff and break in the middle.
Buff and break. Time out.
But it's like the, what's it called? The, whenever you just like eat it in the microphone.
Oh, ASMR?
Oh.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, something that's not.
That's not at all correct. No, ma'am. Nope.
Good. Cool. All right.
I don't think we should cut any of that.
Say, first of all, is this marked as explicit? Because I need to know if I
Yes.
should be considered.
Yes,
No,
it
you
is.
can be yourself. Be yourself.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the NGPT podcast. It's Stephen and Malaki again. And today we have a very special guest, Miss Hannah Snyder. Ta-da. Well, she is back from painting her life away. She's literally been painting a Victorian home for
Yeah.
what, a week straight now?
A week and a half.
Goodness.
Week and a half.
That's a lot of paint.
It's
Making
a lot of paint, and it's a lot of, you appreciate this intricate woodwork until you're the one that has to paint around it.
Yes, exactly. Well, hopefully you've avoided some
Or black.
No, I'm not. No, black is at my house. This is more
okay.
light and airy. We're trying to be better over here.
complete opposites, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, sweet. Cool. So I wanted to start talking point one, basically to talk about some of your personal things, the audience to get to know you a little bit.
Getting right into it.
Yeah, I want to focus a little bit on your marriage with Noah, some things you are super interested in, like music, cycle, fitness. We had Noah on 2 weeks ago, actually, and he talked a lot about your guys' marriage, your relationship in general. And we know that the 10-year anniversary for you guys is coming up soon, right?
Yeah.
So congrats on that.
September 20th.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thanks.
Super awesome. And
Thank
10
you.
years.
10
Awesome.
long years, but
Cool.
loved every moment. Well, yeah,
Hope Noah's not listening to this.
Scratch. No kidding. I mean, it's not real if you say that it's perfect the entire 10 years.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So I just kind of want to hear your perspective a little bit on, the early stages of your relationship.
Yeah.
All the way up until your marriage and even now, like, just hear your perspective on things.
Yeah. So whenever people say opposites attract, I like to think that that actually is a very true statement. Whenever I met Noah, I was 15 and he just turned 16. And whenever I met him, I was like, this guy's completely opposite of what I would normally date, which, I mean, what is dating at 14, Like, oh, I held this guy's hand, we went to fifth quarter together.
Ew, fifth quarter.
Fifth quarter? We were literally just talking about this last night.
Fifth period?
What is fifth quarter?
Did you guys not have
period.
fifth quarter?
Fifth quarter doesn't make any sense at
No.
all.
Fifth quarter is the dance that was always held after football games on Friday nights.
Yeah, I had no idea.
So I guess
the
your school
fifth
didn't.
quarter of a football game.
Yeah.
Learn
Okay.
something new every day.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So no, they
Mechanicsburg's
stopped doing it
weird.
because the kids were dancing too inappropriately, and it was held at a church downtown Mechanicsburg
Oh,
after
that's
football
not good.
games. I know.
It
was a little rough.
Not appropriate.
I know, exactly. But yeah, so I met Noah over I forget what year of school I was in. I think it was my 10th grade year. No, 9th grade.
Not if you were 14.
Yeah, I was 15. He was 16.
Oh.
So it was somewhere around there. I should know, but I don't.
After 10 years, you're free.
Exactly. It's been a long time. So met him over the summer. That's back whenever like Facebook video chat was new. Because that was back whenever it was like Uvu. I think that's how you said it, like the OOVOO.
Yeah.
So I had my laptop upstairs whenever I wasn't supposed to. Sorry, mom and dad.
Oops.
Um,
It's a little late for that now.
I know, a little late. They're probably happy about it now.
Right.
But I think it was like 2:00 in the morning and I was on my laptop and my laptop started to ring. And I was like, what is this? And it was my Facebook. And it said Noah Snyder's video calling you. And I was like, ew, weird. I don't know who that is. So I declined it. And then if any of us know Noah, we know he's a very persistent man. He video called again. So I declined it. And then I was like, well, now I want to know how to do this because this is cool. So I messaged him and I was like, hey, how did you do that? And he's like, if you answer my next one, I'll explain it.
Ooh,
and I was like, oh, hook and sink there. But so I ended up answering it, but I was like, I'm not allowed to have my laptop. So I have to have the sound off. Are we just going to sit and stare at each other?
Yep.
And he was like, that sounds good to me. And I was like, okay. So 2 o'clock in the morning, I answer, and this man is shirtless with a shark tooth necklace on. I was like, oh, great. It's one of these. But we sat and we were messaging while staring and laughing at each other, like in silence, for over an hour. And then he was like, I'm at the beach with my friend. And we wanted to find girlfriends. And I was like, that's weird, but okay.
You didn't recognize his name from like school or anything?
No, he was a
Not at
grade
all?
above me, and I did Votech. So
Oh.
I was only at school for half of the day, and I was one of
Right.
those like beelining through the halls. Just I wanted to get everything over with.
That's fair. Yeah.
But yeah, so we started talking, and we ended up meeting when he got back. And he asked me out. It was literally like not even. I'm trying to think. We met on August 12th of 2011, and we started dating August 21st of 2011.
Homie
So
moves quick.
that was 11 days I knew him, and we have been together since. Except I broke up with him for like one day. He says it was more than one, but his mom states it was more than one too. But you know, it was our 2-month anniversary, and I dumped him over text.
Ooh.
Very typical, I know.
Yikes.
So
That's rough.
yeah, and then I guess you could say the rest is history. We dated for 4 years, and then we've been married for it's going on 10. So together for 14 years, married for 10.
Yeah, that's
You've
awesome.
almost been together longer than I've been alive.
Exactly. That's true.
That's
I forgot you're just a
wild.
baby.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah, next year we'll officially be together. What is that? Half of our lives at least.
Mhm.
So that's our
amazing.
fun fact.
Yep.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So that's my spark note of good
Your
old
relationship.
Noah.
Just the image of Noah shirtless with a shark tooth necklace. Ooh,
I have
nightmares.
It's not
pictures.
even.
Can
It's
we
not
like
even.
insert it here?
Yes,
Like
please.
It's not even the Noah that we know.
no,
Yes.
that's whenever he had the Bieber cut.
115-pound Noah,
Mhm.
probably.
Exactly. Little
That's
Noah,
crazy.
Bieber cut. And I was into like anyone that was like skating that would get OSS, you know, like the
Out of
ones that
school
were
suspension.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then I met Noah. Noah's a pastor's kid, and my mom was like, this is a blessing. So my mom has been a worship leader my whole life. So she was
Yep.
like, when are you marrying this kid? I was like,
You're like, I'm not, Mom.
Whoa.
no.
He doesn't have a
no.
record.
Yeah, no, we came back to school, and everyone's like, Noah and Hannah? Like Hannah Smith is with Noah Snyder? That makes no sense.
Yep. Look
But
at you now.
exactly.
wild.
Look at us now.
Yeah. So you guys both share a pretty huge passion for music.
Yes.
So I have a couple questions here. How has your taste in music changed over the years? And can you describe some of your current favorite bands, and what is your most favorite concert ever that you've attended?
Ooh. That's like asking a parent who their favorite child
I
is.
know
I feel
that's
like
a tough one.
But
even
there's
though parents
always
always
one.
have one.
There's
Yep.
We
always
know.
one.
Um
It might change every now and then.
exactly.
But they
Depends
always
on the
have
day. Depends on the
Mhm.
day. That's a hard question. Okay, so how has my music changed? Honestly, my music hasn't changed. I've you know, like that saying, like it's not a phase, mom. That's all that's been my life. Um, I went through like a phase where I loved like more of like Never Shout Never, you know, Owl City, like that stuff whenever I was like, oh, you know, the bopping music. But I've always just been a metalcore junkie like my entire life. Everything that just scared my parents when I'd listen to it, that kind of stuff. I was just literally having a conversation with someone last night. My mom, my entire life, you know, has been such an awesome role model, and I always laugh looking back at like things that she did whenever she would like mother me. And one of the things is she used to make me print out lyrics, and I'd have to sit and I had to read them to her. And if I couldn't read them in front of her, because I was like, oh, I don't want to, I can't say that.
Ooh.
She'd look at me, she'd be like, well, then why do you want to listen to it? And I was like,
You know what, Mom? You're right.
ooh. So then I would just go to my friends and
That's
download it
funny.
on LimeWire. Um,
Oh, good old Meyer. Good old days.
But yeah, no, it's always been metalcore. I definitely noticed as I started getting Noah into it more, I was super excited because then that's something that we could bond with. Um, Favorite bands, I know it's so cliche because they got so big on TikTok, but I still have to say my favorite band, hands down, is Sleep Token.
Yep.
So as many of you might know, I did a Sleep Token ride, and that was like one of my favorite cycle rides I ever did. It was just an hour long from beginning to end of the brand new album, and I was like, that by far is my favorite. But I love Sleep Token, I love Lorna Shore, I love Imminence is a huge one I listen to. Dayseeker. I don't. There's just so many.
Yep.
It's literally like if I went through my playlist, it's just like there's none that I could skip over technically. But my favorite concert, I don't know. Of course I traveled. We went with Brock and Courtney actually to Ohio, and we traveled the whole way just to see Sleep Token. Because I had tickets for Philly in my cart and they sold out, and I don't think I've ever felt that kind of rage in my life. um, but yeah, Sleep Token, of course, that was the first ever concert I actually cried at, which one of those. And the other one definitely would have to be Imminence, because that I got to be up against the stage, and yeah, that was
that's
super cool.
And for those of you who had come to Ark, you can thank Hannah for the playlist in the back room because pretty much all those bands you just described are on that and more.
Yeah,
Yes.
heavily featured.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Heavily. You can
Yeah.
tell who my favorite bands are based on the playlist back here. But yeah, anything that gets you a good lift. I had a woman in one of my cycle classes before it was super cool because she came and it was marked as a metalcore, and she's like, I genuinely don't know what metalcore is. And I could tell that at first when she heard it, she was like, that's a little
Thrown back.
jarring. But
Mhm.
whenever she walked out, she's like, I would never listen to that music, but leaving here, I feel like I could lift a house. I was like, that's what I like to hear.
That's the entire point of that.
Exactly. And you climb those hills so much better with that music.
Yeah.
So
And you mentioned cycle. It's pretty awesome how you can mix your love of music into your love of fitness, right? And you can combine those.
hmm
When was the moment you kind of realized that you were interested in teaching cycle? Kind of what are your favorite parts about that in general?
I would say so. I started a friendship a little while back with Micah. And she was teaching cycle, and I was going to her classes, and I was like, oh my gosh, like whenever songs were coming on that like I felt like I was bonding with, I felt like this is making cardio so much fun. And the fact that I have like crippling stage fright, but I love to sing. I loved it. I literally took vocal lessons, and I was like, why am I paying for this? I had to sit backwards because I couldn't even have my vocal coach look at me when I was doing anything. So
You couldn't speak in front of one person
I couldn't
or
sing.
sing
I'm
in front
fine
of one
speaking.
person. Yeah.
But if I'm in front of a ton of people, obviously this is fine because no one's staring at me.
Right.
They will be later. Uh, but no, it took him probably a month and a half before I could turn my chair around. But I was like, I love music so deeply. Like that is my number one thing in life. And then whenever we introduced like fitness, I was like, oh my gosh, like the best of both worlds. And I have everyone trapped in here having to listen to my music for 45 minutes. So it just makes it more fun. That's something. So that's whenever I knew I was like, this is going to be fun because it's an awesome way to get through cardio, but enjoy good music.
Yeah. And I remember you taking vocal lessons. When was that? Last year, maybe? How was that in general?
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I specifically took vocal lessons for harsh vocals.
Yeah. Can you give us an example?
No.
Darn.
I was gonna say maybe lean back because that was in headphones.
No, Keegan is still trying. Last time he had a show, he was like, I need you to come up. I just want you to do a couple guest vocals with Ego Death. And I was like, no. Do lessons for this? I was like, yeah, but no.
Well, the answer is yes, but also no.
Exactly. Yeah, no, the one time my friend Sarah used to be in a band called Conquer Divide, and they came into town, and their harsh vocalist was sick.
Yep.
And she
got the call.
Looked at me and she's like, you need to do this. And in my head, I was like, no, absolutely not. That's a hard no. And then I was like, Hannah, you will regret it for the rest of your life if you don't take this opportunity. So I did get to do some guest vocals with Conquer Divide, which is like one of my other favorite bands. I'm absolutely love the girls in that band. They're fantastic. And Sam, the drummer, I literally we talk on a weekly basis. So she's super cool.
So wait, you go from vocal lessons to just your coach barely being able to turn your chair around to you performing on stage. How many people?
I don't even know, because I felt like I was going to pass out the entire
just
time.
blacked
So
out.
it was
So you didn't see anyone. You were
no,
just
because
there.
there is like whenever people say the lights are so bright you can't see
Yeah.
anyone, that's
Right.
actually very accurate.
That's
But
true.
I also was like, I don't know any of the lyrics to this, and I
Right.
was panicking, and they had it written on the floor for me, and I couldn't see it.
Oof.
And
Yeah,
I
that's
realized that
funny.
my mic wasn't plugged in, so I was trying to get it plugged before my spot came in, and
Oh,
I've
no.
never been that anxious in my entire life.
Oh,
So,
wow.
but I'm glad I can say I did it. So,
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah.
So speaking of fitness,
Wow.
I think I speak for everyone here that your transformation is incredible. It's definitely up there, right beside Noah's. Is probably the most impressive here at the gym in general.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You put in a lot of hard work. Noah mentioned that you were athletic growing up. What sports did you play?
So I did ballet for 9 years. Well, it was tap, ballet, and jazz. And then whenever I was 10, I really, really wanted to play softball, and I couldn't do ballet and softball. So I dropped ballet and started doing softball and ended up falling in love with that. Like that was extremely big in my life. And my dad ended up becoming like a coach, and he was my coach for a long time. So that was like a huge bonding thing for me and him. But I played, I'm trying to even think how many years of softball. I did like all stars, I did travel team, I did fast pitch, and I was the pitcher for every single game.
How's that
So
elbow?
it's rough. I have been going to a chiropractor since I was 12. I
Yeah.
can tell you that. So I loved it. But then it just started getting to the point that I had to make a decision because I couldn't play softball for the high school team and do VOTEC.
Mhm.
So that's whenever I stopped. I retired out of softball. And this sounds cocky, so I don't mean that in a cocky way. But it sort of got to the point where it wasn't fun anymore because I can truly say that I was very talented.
Just too good for him.
I was too good. It got to the point where we were playing a lot of the same teams, and they knew like I was a home run hitter. And in softball, you can, I mean, I think you can do it in baseball too. I don't know. I should know, but I don't. You can walk someone on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And that was every time I was coming up then to hit.
You got the Barry Bonds treatment.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah. So
From
my dad
middle
used to
schoolers.
exactly. My dad used to write my my
That's wild.
season of home runs on the bottom of my trophies. So I enjoyed it, and then I think that that was the time that I was like, all right, I need to go
Step
on
away.
with, you know, life things
Right.
instead now. But
Wow.
yeah. And I tried track. I did sprints. I was not distance. I'm also extremely vertically challenged, so I could not do hurdles. But I did
just go under
sprints.
them though, right?
Exactly. I just crawl.
Yep.
I did track. I did tennis. I played volleyball for a while. I was very bad at tennis, but it checks out because I was good at softball. And one is you have to just
Gently tap.
little tappity tap. I was
Yeah.
always over the fence, so that
Yeah.
I was more of a bench warmer for tennis. But
I'm surprised they even let you on the team.
I think that they just didn't have enough people try out.
Maybe.
But I made sure everyone had water. I was like the water boy for the season.
Nice.
But yeah, so those were all. I don't think I did any other sports. I tried basketball, and
Being vertically challenged, that's
That-
not
that
a good
was-
idea.
yep,
Not a good
yeah.
idea.
So those are all the sports I did.
You keep saying you did VOTEC. What did you do? Because there's a whole bunch of different options when you go to a VOTEC school.
Yeah.
What did you do?
So whenever I enrolled in VOTEC, I was actually in auto tech. And I did auto tech for about 3 months. And then I ended up dropping out and going into VOTEC. Yeah, not VOTEC. I'm sorry, cosmetology,
Okay.
which is completely opposite.
Yes.
But at the time, so I was 15 whenever I went into VOTEC, and I was dating Noah. And as cliche as it sounds, when I was 15, I was like, I'm going to marry this man. And I was in auto tech, and unfortunately, being a woman in the auto tech field, it has its challenges, you know.
Especially, what, 20 years ago at this
Yeah,
point?
yeah.
A little weird.
So I was the only girl in auto tech, and I was like, I don't feel like this is going to be a healthy environment for me to be in whenever I want to be with Noah. So I was like, what can I go to that I know I would excel in, that I'm comfortable with? And my mom has owned a salon since I was born. So I ended up switching into cosmetology, and I ended up, before I graduated, I already had my license. So I was getting to do co-op, and I was working at a salon, and every single Friday we'd have clients. And I always found myself, I was only ever doing nails, like nail clients. And I wanted to do hair more, but I was really comfortable doing nails. So that's where my like passion for nails came in.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
impressive. I didn't even know they offered cosmetology in
Yeah.
a Votech space.
Yeah. No, they do. I loved my teachers. I'm still close with them, and
That's cool.
Mrs. Miller and Mrs. Franklin. They were,
Shout out.
yeah, shout out. They were hands down like a huge pivotal like thing in my life. Like
That's sick.
absolutely love them as teachers.
Cool.
So you were pretty athletic growing up,
Mhm.
and when did you kind of get into the fitness realm as far as strength training, things like that? I know you've been with Yo for a little over 4 years,
Mhm.
about 4 years now.
About 4 years.
Yeah, how has that journey been, and kind of what are some of the struggles that you've had to overcome? I know you go through like certain health issues that you
Mhm.
guys have had to kind of navigate.
Mhm.
Kind of what does that look like?
So this sounds super funny to say, but back after COVID, Noah was presented with the opportunity to purchase a gym, a local gym, and I was out of shape so bad. Like to the point where it was like I know women typically don't talk about their weight, but I could give two shits. But I'm 5 foot and I was 175 pounds. So for anyone that knows, that's pretty stocky for a 5 footer. Um, no offense if anyone is around that weight at 5 foot. Like we all sit there, we are all built very different. But for my frame, that was not flattering.
It was,
So
unfortunately, just wasn't healthy.
exactly, it was not. It
Yeah.
was far from healthy for me, and I had a lot of unhealthy habits. So whenever Noah came up to me and he's like, "I think we should buy this gym," I was like,
No. No.
have you looked in the mirror? I
No.
know I have looked in the mirror. I was like, I don't want to be a gym owner looking like this. It's like that it feels embarrassing. Like it felt degrading to me. So that's whenever I met Yo. While we were going through this process, he was over training out of a studio over here in Mechanicsburg, and I was like, "Hi, please help."
Was he working for or with Brock at that
Yes.
point?
Yep.
Okay. I wasn't sure if he was still independent.
Yeah.
I had
No,
no
he
idea.
was still with Brock. He was with Brock.
Yeah.
And I started working with him just to try and like at that point I was so obsessed with the thought of losing weight that I wish going back I could have taken
Shifted that.
advantage of building muscle with the weight I had.
Oh, you were probably so much stronger than
Oh
you
my
just didn't even
gosh, I
know it.
was like whenever I call myself a meatball, like I
Mhm.
don't mind calling myself a meatball. I have always because I've had thick legs my entire life because of softball.
Yeah.
I've
And
just
sprinting.
yeah, exactly. So I've just always been built a certain way, but I was so obsessed with losing weight. And this man, meaning Yo, like he pivots so well with me in like my life, like where I'm at with my life, where I'm at with my health. You mentioned like my health issues. I've always used my health as a crutch. At 17, I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, which a lot of people understand more whenever I just say it's a form of Crohn's disease. Crohn's disease is like the worst that you can have. I have ulcerative colitis, so I have ulcers all through my intestinal tract. And it goes like all through my left side. So I always said like I can't work out because I'm always sick. And funny enough, it's not rocket science, people. Whenever you drink water and you eat whole foods, it's crazy how that even can help with autoimmune diseases.
Yep, absolutely.
Because I was struggling with like joint pain and just, anything that comes with that disease. I kept failing out of oral medications, emergency colonoscopies all the time. I was hospitalized for a while. And I was like, I can't work out because I don't feel good. So it was always that I don't feel good, so I can't work out. And I can't, you don't feel good because you're not working out. And it's like that. So I started with nutrition first. And then I started really diving in with Yo on working out.
Training. Yeah.
Yeah, with training. And I got to the point where I failed out of all the oral medications, so they switched me to infusions. So I do give myself injections in my stomach for that, but I've been for the most part in remission unless I'm stressed, which I live a life of stress a good bit.
As a small business owner.
Yeah.
Small business owner.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, with lots of other things just going on. So
Mhm.
I come in and out of remission a good bit. But once again, Yo is fantastic with whenever I'm having days that I'm like not feeling good, I'm like, this is what's going on. And he just immediately pivots my entire workout.
Yep.
So
So it's all
That's
about
cool.
we try to meet clients where they are,
mhm.
right?
That's cool because
Huge.
Yo's ridiculously smart, and with
Oh my
somebody
gosh,
that
yeah.
has your conditions, it's a good fit for you there.
Yeah.
I don't know if did you consider working out with anybody before that? Anybody else?
No, because I believe at the time, I'm so sorry if this is incorrect. I think it was just Chris Peters, Brock,
And Yo,
and Yo.
yeah, they were the three of us. Yeah,
And Brock was like, I feel like you'd mesh really well with Yo, and I just immediately was like,
right.
well, I'm extremely loud and obnoxious, and Yo is like
The most
the most
soft-spoken person I know.
soft-spoken individual, but that's why once again,
What'd you
opposites
say, yo?
attract.
What?
I
Yeah,
know.
right.
He was saying something
Uh-huh.
to me the other day, and he had to say it like for the third time because I was blabbing to someone, and he was telling me I needed to pause, and I was like, "Whoa, you don't need to whisper at me like that." So me and him, we bounce off each other really well.
Yeah,
He's so funny.
that's great.
Hmm.
So I know you've lost. What, you lost 55 pounds,
Yeah,
correct?
Initially.
And
initially,
you're at almost 600 workouts with Yo,
yeah.
correct? I think you're going to get that, what, this week maybe? How far off are
It
you?
was so I didn't train all last week, and I took this whole week off again.
Okay, so soon.
Because I feel like painting, holy crap, like
Yeah, that's a workout
painting
in itself.
and doing all the things I've been doing,
How are those
moving.
delts?
They hurt. They hurt so bad. I was literally like, I'm sure everyone could hear me talking to myself down there. I was like, come on, you have one more strip. And it's like burning. But yeah, so I like to think I'm getting my exercise in this week. So hopefully within like the next week or two, I'll hit those.
Awesome. I know you have
That'd be
plans
sick.
to maybe compete one day.
Mhm.
So in a perfect world, what does that look like, and what kind of role does like your transformation and your competing maybe play in the fitness realm?
Um, so I've always said, with competition, I always wanted to do it just so I could say someone with my health issues did it. I know there's other people that have it, but it's not as known. Because whenever I started my whole journey to start training for a show, I remember posting in my ulcerative colitis group. For anyone that knows me, I'm very weird, and anytime I get into something, I join Facebook groups. I am in like 10 million different Facebook groups. If it exists, I'm in it. But I posted in there and I was like, does anyone compete in here? Because I have like so many questions. And I just remember a couple people commented and they're like, LOL, we don't do that.
Let's be clear. You're talking about competing in bodybuilding,
Yes,
right?
in
Okay.
bodybuilding.
Fantastic.
So I remember I posted like, does anyone compete in bodybuilding?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, LOL, no, we can't.
Crickets.
Yeah.
Can't.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, bet. So that's whenever I looked at Yo and I was like, I want to compete. And of course, then it's trying to figure out what category, all that.
Right.
Like I said, I've always been a thick leg girly. So I was like, wellness was speaking to me at first, but then I was like, I crave just to have a huge upper body. Like I've always been so drawn to women with large upper bodies.
Yeah.
So that's whenever I shifted over to my focus on figure. But now, God love him once again, Yo and his pivoting. Like over like the last few weeks, I have been blasting his inbox with just these girls that are getting ready for Olympia. And I'm like, excuse me, can I have these legs? And he's like, Hannah, you hate training legs. He's like, any day we have hack squats, you tell me that you can't do those because you're having bathroom issues. I'm like, this is true.
Yo keeps it real.
He does. He literally texted me that this morning. He's like, got to get you into working legs first. And I was like, okay.
Yep.
But yeah, so teetering between wellness, figure, those different things. But I just think it'd be so cool to have the experience. I probably, not that I would want to stick with it because the prep is hard, especially with being busy.
Yep.
But I'd like to be able to just at least say I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Just
And
step on stage.
yeah, exactly.
Being an inspiration for other people is,
Hmm.
yeah, that's what it's all about. So,
Yeah.
Right.
I'm going to shift a little bit here and let's
Yeah.
play a quick game. Okay. So I want to play the favorite game.
Oh boy.
All right. What is your favorite stimulus to train? It can be neurological, SARCA, it could be AMPK, mechanical tension,
Wave loading.
wave loading. That's also mine.
Yep. I love wave loading because I love hitting crazy PRs.
Yep.
Yep.
You just like pushing big weight.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh my gosh, look, I'm 5 foot and I just
Right.
shoulder pressed with 60s. Like I'm so determined and
Right.
I love that. Even if it's for 4 reps, and I have really horrible wrists. So like in all of my PR videos, like I swear,
Pressing PR videos.
yes, all my pressing PR videos, Yo is holding my wrist, but he's not helping me. And I'm like, I know that you can do wrist straps, but I also start to freak myself out because you get up here and you're like, I mean, I have like the world's tiniest hands, I swear. I have yet to meet anyone my age with hands my size. Um, but I'm always like, I get up here and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, they're going to come down on my face. So then I get like these rickety wrists. So rickety. And so he always, for all of my PRs, he always holds my wrist, but he's not helping me lift. I know it looks like a cop out in my videos, but
All right. What's your favorite muscle group to train?
my favorite muscle group is
Definitely
probably
not legs.
not legs. I do love leg extensions. I'm not gonna lie. I know that's gonna
Ooh,
be a
the lean
different
back
question.
version. Ooh,
Oh,
that's a good
no,
one.
not that
Ooh.
one. No. My favorite would probably, I love training biceps.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're small right now, okay?
What is your favorite exercise?
My favorite exercise, I know this is also very like different from what I've been saying the entire time, but my favorite exercise is leg extensions.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
What is your least favorite exercise?
Pendulums.
Ooh, that
Pendulum
yeah,
or the prime hack squat.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It feels like the weight of the world is on your shoulders on this one.
yeah. Those
Mhm.
those two are.
I might be the only
Bro.
person that loves the pendulum. I don't
I
know.
have a
No.
love-hate relationship with it. I
No.
love when I survive it. I hate whenever I get buried.
Yeah, no. It's
Yeah.
a very humbling piece of
Yeah.
equipment.
And for those of you that use it or have seen some of us use it, it is very, very heavy. And that's
Very.
just because of how it moves in that arcing motion, right?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah, it's very humbling.
Yep.
Yeah.
I let everyone know when I take them on tours, I'm like, don't get cocky.
Mhm.
No.
That
Yep.
and then I know I'm gonna say the wrong thing. What is the orange
The
piece of
T-bar row.
the T-bar row?
Mhm.
I see people, the amount of
that's
people
good.
that load that and then they go to pick it and it just does like this
Nope.
thing
Like, oh,
and then they're just like
Yeah.
pulls weight off.
It
yep.
was like 2 months ago, I think I saw a kid in here. He had no idea what he was doing. Unfortunately, I was with a client, so I couldn't really stop him.
Mhm.
He loaded up 4 plates on the back of the
No.
pendulum.
No.
Oh,
Oh
No
God. No, he
band,
pancaked.
nothing.
oh my
Pancaked.
goodness.
I was working directly next to him on the hack squat, and all I heard was that thing just go,
Yep.
and he goes, "Oh!"
Yep.
Oh
I'm like,
boy.
I knew that was going to happen.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yep. It's not a traditional
No,
squat,
you
people.
can't mess with that.
No,
Nope.
Nope.
please, no.
All right,
It's
last one.
dangerous.
Big danger.
What is your favorite machine? It can be prime, anything.
My favorite machine would probably be I love the chest press. Like
Yeah.
the one that you put your little foot on and it
With the
pushes
lever.
the
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Pin
so
loaded,
amused by
right?
that.
Yep.
Yep.
That's
It's
a
a
really
good
good one.
machine.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair. That's a
Yep.
good choice.
Yep. Love that one. Makes me
Yeah.
feel super strong.
Super strong.
Much swole.
Much swole. Love it.
It's a good piece. I
Yeah.
like that.
All right. So now that we've talked a little bit about your fitness journey, a couple more things here on your personal life. I wanted to touch on your fitness transformation has been incredible, but let's talk about your ink transformation.
Oh boy.
All right. You've been putting quite a bit of work into your canvas.
Mm-hmm.
Lots
As I
of,
wore long pants today.
yeah,
Yeah, dude, literally
lots of
the most
pain,
impressive
right?
pieces that you
And
can't
she was
see.
like oozing out on the floor the other week, right?
So embarrassing. I had on my Sanoderm, and for anyone that's ever gotten tattooed and put Sanoderm on, you know that like I'm not trying to like gross people out that are watching or listening to this, but like your body leaks after you get tattoos, especially ones that are like heavy packing or color. And I was standing there talking to, I think I was actually talking to Kyle, which is funny enough. He's the one that normally is tattooing my other leg. But I was standing there and it's like this gross, like feeling of something going into my shoe. And I was like, oh no, I know exactly what that is. And he looks at me, he's like, dude, you're leaking. He's like, you were actually actively leaking all over the floor. And yeah, I have both sides of my head tattooed. Which I don't know, you probably can't see with my hair.
Barely.
Barely, but I have it solid the whole way back to the whole back of my head. And I remember I got tattooed that day and I had them Sanodermed and I came back here and taught a cycle class the same night.
I don't know how you did that.
And I remember
Savage.
I was halfway through and you know you're running these sprints and you're standing and you're climbing and I was like, all right guys, I don't know if I'm sweating or if I'm bleeding down my face. And I remember I got off the bike and I looked and I was like, I in fact was bleeding down my face.
Did you try to like wipe off your head with a towel and then forget that it was there?
No, because I
No.
had the Sanoderm over it. But once again,
Oh,
I
true.
just Sanoderm is just not my cup of tea at the end of the day. I do it thinking that it's going to help coming in here, and I just
It
Yeah,
doesn't sound
if
like
you
it
tend to
does.
sweat or like work out in it, oh, it can be pretty rough.
yeah, it's rough. But yeah, I mean, I started tattooing myself whenever I was 17. My first one was a Bible verse on my leg, which I have covered at the moment. But it's 1 John 4:19. and I have the same one with my sister. So my sister was old enough to get it, but I wasn't. And my mom was anti-tattoo, I should just say, whenever I first started getting into it. But of course, we were like, but Mom, it's a Bible verse. And she's like, well, how can I say no to that?
Yep. There
And
you
it's
go.
matching sister ones. But it's we love each other because he loved us first. And that was my first one. And looking back, when I got it done, that's whenever I was 17. So that's whenever I got diagnosed with UC. So at the time I got down to 97 pounds. That's how sick I was.
Wow.
Yeah.
5 foot and 97
5
pounds.
foot, 97 pounds. I was shopping at Limited 2, which once again, throwback. Limited 2, because I could not fit in the smallest jeans at American Eagle. And now that I am no longer 95 pounds, oh, there's a mosquito. Did I just get that?
Nope,
Nope.
he's up there.
Nope. Okay. Thank you.
I thought it
Um,
was a spider.
I was like,
That's
I would have been like, hey, friend.
yeah.
I'm gonna take you home.
My bestie.
Right.
But so I got my first leg tattoo whenever I was 95 pounds. It does not look the best anymore. Because my legs are a lot bigger now.
Stretched a little bit.
Yeah. So I remember my sister looked at it last summer and she's like, why is yours all blurry? I was like,
Yikes.
thanks. I was like, I know it is. But after that, then I started my arm my senior year of high school. And just sort of grew from there. And now I have my full leg sleeve that Kyle's been working on, which
It looks really
It's
painful.
insane.
it has
Yep,
been
it's crazy.
the worst. I don't know. The sides of my head were probably, I'd have to say, the worst. And I have my earlobe blacked out. That was
I remember you
rough.
coming back from that. And you were,
Yeah.
That was by far the worst healing that I've ever had. But yeah, no. The goal is to full coverage everywhere. So
Yep, full
chipping
body.
away.
That's
Full
what
body.
that's what I'm scared of. I want to get more tats, but like I don't want to get bigger and then have them look bad
Yeah.
or like I don't know because I
Yeah.
definitely won't. I'm not going to stay this size forever. Obviously, I
Exactly.
hope to
And
get bigger, but
yeah, and those are things that you have to think about because
Yeah.
that's why I haven't like tattooed my torso. I haven't
Right.
done any of that because, future goal, we would like to have a kid. So I'm just like, those
Yeah.
go through a lot of stretching there.
Yes.
Yes,
do.
they do.
Not looking
Yeah.
to mess any of that up. So
That's why I've been holding it off a little
exactly.
Yeah.
Hard decisions because they sort of last for a long time.
bit. Really? I didn't know that.
They're like the peel and stick.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty funny that we just mentioned spider here. You guys
Yeah,
you guys have
literally.
a quite the zoo at home,
Yes.
right? So I remember I came over to your old house. When was that? Not too long after I
It was
arrived
pretty
here.
close to whenever
Um,
you moved here.
Yeah, and you had some snakes and things like that, different reptiles. What kind of reptiles or animals do you have now? I know you have a pretty gnarly spider who just had babies. Is that right? Is that what I saw in your story?
I had babies.
Pasta.
So his face.
I know you have at least 3, but now you probably have 300.
Yes, quite accurate.
So
So I
I'm
ended up.
not pet sitting. No.
Come on over. Actually, Luis has been doing. He's doing
I
great.
know. Saint.
Yes, Luis and Alexis, they're awesome. But I currently, so I should go back to whenever we opened Ark, I had all of my snakes. And it got to the point where having a business is fantastic, but it's extremely consuming. And I got to the point where I would get home and I was like, I'm exhausted. And we already had all the other creatures. So I did rehome all of my snakes to a loving family. And I do miss them, but you get home and it's sort of like, this sounds disgusting to say too, but snakes, I was feeding frozen rats.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever you get home and you're like all gun ho to like cook your dinner and you forgot to thaw out your chicken.
That's how you felt about the rats.
Ooh.
That's how it was. I was like, oh my gosh, I did not sit their rats out. So it got to the point where I was like, they need to go with someone that has time to hold them, take them out in the sun and the grass, remember to thaw out their rats. Things like that. So I rehomed all my snakes. I kept my geckos.
Yep.
So I currently have my 4 geckos, Waldo, Pongo, Biscotti, and Pip.
Are they all leopard geckos?
They are all crested geckos.
Cool.
And so I have the 4 of them. I have 4 hermit crabs. And I don't know their names because they keep changing pants, which is their shells, so they call them pants. They change shells and then you don't know who's who. So I just always wave and say hi. And they love to listen to music with me, which is weird. No one knows that hermit crabs are very fascinating, actually. They have a hamster wheel that they walk on whenever I'm in there and I listen to music.
That's awesome.
So I always would say I'd practice my cycle in there with them, and they would always be on their wheel whenever I was cycling. And then I have, hold on, let me think.
I can't
So
believe you've encouraged your hermit crabs to do cardio too.
heck yeah,
That's
we're always
wild.
working out. And then I have 4 spiders, I think, currently. So yes, Tori found a spider in her kitchen. I love jumping spiders. That's what they are. She found one in her kitchen and brought it in, but all she had was a pasta container.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my gosh, this is pasta. All right. And I was like, pasta's fat. Pasta's a chunky girl, because you can tell if they're a girl or a boy based on they have something called pedipalps in the front.
Mm-hmm.
And females have longer, fuzzier pedipalps, and the males have shorter ones that have like boxing gloves on the ends. I know, spider anatomy here. Exactly.
Nice.
I was like, wow, she's chunky. And then she started building a sack. And I was like, oh my God, she's not chunky, she's pregnant. So I now currently have a sack of a couple hundred spiders. So yeah, and other than that, I have the 3 cats and 2 Great Danes.
Yep.
Yep.
Fun fact: the first time I ever touched a snake was your snake at your house.
Yes.
And probably
Overcoming
never again.
fears at the Snyder house.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. That's
What do
awesome.
you do with the sack when it's ready? What
I
do
think
you
it's the
do?
best sentence. Can we quote that?
Yeah.
Can that
right?
be the caption for this?
Yeah.
So I have a couple different options. I'm sort of torn at the moment. The enclosures, they have like air holes on them.
So they can get out?
Yes. So they're currently all inside the sack with the mom right now. She's been in there for over a month. She actually just came out last night and I was able to feed her, but then she immediately went back in. And the 2 options I have pretty much are wait until she exits the sack and I can put her back into a different enclosure. And then I can actually, since they're native to our area,
Can you release
I
them?
can release them
Okay,
outside,
cool.
which is the goal. But if she doesn't leave the sack, then I would have to put her, the sack, and the babies outside, and then I would lose pasta. So that might have to be what I do. Or I guess there is a third option. If they just start coming out of the little air holes, they're going to be in my house, which is fine. Because I love them. Like they can be in my house. They're great pets. But I just want them to have the best chance of life. So
Yeah.
When you
I'm
say
hoping.
in your house, do you mean like walking around your floors
Yeah.
or like okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, so jumping spiders actually go high.
Oh, cool.
So you can typically always find them. They're going to be like up on the ceiling.
Ceilings.
Like if you get one out and it jumps away, then you just typically find it on the ceiling later.
Interesting.
So yeah,
I didn't know that.
all my weird quirks with critters.
Weird.
I've been painting at this house and I keep finding spiders, and like half of my day is me just carrying them out and putting them outside,
That's
then
why
coming
it
back
takes so
in.
long. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Not
Rehoming all the
watching
little
paint dry.
spiders.
Yeah. The paint's been dry. You're outside with a spider.
Playing.
All right, I want to transition a little bit into more of your. We talked a little bit about it, your past work experience, and kind of transitioning into Ark a little bit. Of course, everyone knows you as one of the faces of Ark, but let's rewind and talk about your past work experience, right? So, used to be a full-time nail tech. Got to travel all over doing that. Correct. You also mentioned being the head of U.S. education.
Yes.
Can you dive into that a little bit?
Yeah. So, long story short with that is whenever I started doing nails full time, the way that I like built my book was I got to do a lot of really cool nail sets on myself. And then it turns into, you go into the bank, you go through the drive-through, you do this kind of thing. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, look at your nails. And then you give them cards. And then it grew from there. And then my Instagram following grew, which was really cool. And then I reached out to a company that started to come into the area. You'd see them here and there. It wasn't super prevalent yet. And I reached out to them and I was like, do you guys have any ambassadors? Because that's like what my goal was. I was like, I want to be a brand ambassador. And they were like, you know what? We're newer to the US. They're based out of London. I'm not London, Brighton, UK. And they were like, do you want to be our guinea pig? You can be our first US ambassador. And I was like, okay. So I was their ambassador for a while, pushed their products, posted, switched all over to their products at the salon. Absolutely loved them. And then they gave me the opportunity. They flew me out to the UK. and I got to stay with the owner of the company at her house and go to like the head of like a head of operations there. They trained me and offered me offered me the position of head of US education.
Like
Um,
nail education.
nail education for
Okay.
their company.
I thought you were talking like school.
Yeah. Oh, well, so pretty much what it is what they wanted me to then do is take back the information and the knowledge of the product
Mhm.
and go to California where their headquarters was. And I helped them design the US education in California. So I created like the classroom and set everything up for people to then pay and travel and stay there for a week and have all training classes with me
That's kind of sick.
as the educator. So it was like a once in a lifetime opportunity. Like it was the coolest thing I could have ever asked for. They would also fly me out to different salons all over the US to one-on-one train with different salons and their nail technicians to bring on the line. And then they presented me and Noah with the opportunity to move out to California. They wanted us to move out there and help them open the first ever pilot salon. That was a salon solely based off of that brand and to do celebrity nails. And I declined it.
Yeah.
I declined it. And that's sort of like whenever the relationship started to fall apart with the company a little bit because I don't think
They
that they
weren't
could
prepared for you to say no.
correct because
Yeah.
in a lot of ways I feel like a lot of people be like you just had this amazing opportunity handed to you on a golden platter and you just like sorry as I
Oh, you're
punch
right.
you I'm just decking everyone back here.
Wow.
But I don't think that they could wrap their heads around the fact that family was more important to me and I didn't want to do people's nails that we were paying to come to me. I loved my clients. Like my clients were, I have had the same clients for the 9 years that I did nails. And they cherished their time with me. And nothing against celebrities. I know people love them, but at the end of the day, I look at them as just normal people. And I wanted to be around my normal people that appreciated me, that appreciated my work. So I declined the offer. And then that's whenever things sort of, like I said, started to fall apart a little bit on that end. And Noah was working for the company at the time too. And that was just sort of a rocky situation. So whenever he left the company, I also made the decision to leave the company. And then that's whenever COVID was. So it was just a weird time all in all. And then that's whenever the opportunity showed itself to purchase the gym.
Right.
So it was just a weird thing where the whole fallout happened with the company. And then Noah's like, let's buy a gym.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh my God, like this man. So that was like my experience with that, which once again, I wouldn't change it for the world, but I'm happy that I can't imagine if I lived in California at the moment.
Yeah.
Things would be much different.
Much.
So speaking of Ark, it's 3-year anniversary this Saturday, right?
Sure
August 16th.
is. I can't even believe that.
Yeah, it is crazy, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So you talked a little bit about the process going into that, and Noah also touched on that. I wanted to get your take on how has it changed your life, and what are some of your favorite parts of doing what you do?
Yeah. So how has it changed my life? It has made me, I feel like it's changed it in a couple different ways. It has changed my relationship with people. It has changed my relationship with um like my mental state. It has changed my relationship with money. Because whenever we started Ark, we literally started it from nothing. So a lot of the time people look at people that have businesses and they're like, wow, you must have had a lot of money to start this. And we always just say we built it on a dream and a lot of debt. And I'm not afraid to like share that with people because it's not like we had a rich uncle that died and we got, millions of dollars that we were able to pour into this. It was literally like Noah had no job, poured all his heart into this. I was doing nails full time, which unfortunately sometimes you don't make a lot of money doing that. Um, and it just made us so, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Risk, like more able to take risks, if that makes sense.
You were in a good position to take the risk.
Yeah,
You
I
had
wouldn't
nothing to
say, yeah,
lose.
Literally, we had nothing to lose. Like, I remember it got to the point where it's like, I would look at Noah and I was like, we can't afford groceries this week. So it was like a very humbling spot. But then it made me have such like a shift in heart, like after it started to, show like revenue and show growth. I was like, oh my gosh, like it makes me not as scared to make jumps to do other cool, big opportunities.
Take other risks.
Yeah, to take other
Right.
risks, because at the end of the day, if you take care of your finances, and I hate the word credit score because I think credit scores are so stupid, but if you baby that credit score, I can't even talk. I haven't been fumbling too bad like I thought I would.
Oh, you're doing well. Good job.
Thank you.
Very good.
But if you take care of that credit score and you are consistent with your payments, no matter how hard things get, you have a lot of opportunities that open up to you that you can take advantage of that and you can build things. So it's changed. That's how it changed my mind with like money. And then just getting to meet the people that come in here and that we work with, and just like the team here, I don't know, I don't like to say that like I'm an introvert, because I would just sit, I would do nails. You have heart to heart, it's like a private therapy session for like 5 to 8 people per day, and that's a lot. Like, it's a lot of trauma dumping in one spot, and you're a sponge.
Well, believe me, we understand.
Oh, yeah, exactly. We're
We get
training.
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's like
Believe me.
that, and it's exhausting. So I used to always just want to come home and just
Do nothing.
clam. But coming in here, it's like I have just met so many amazing people, and just watching people grow has just been the coolest thing ever. And it's very rare that you're going to find people in a gym that aren't wanting to work on themselves. So it's not like you're in a profession where people are miserable, and sometimes people are miserable and they don't want to be here, but guess what? They showed up. So it's people that are working hard on themselves, which is a really cool place to be. And there's nothing cooler than when people scan in and I see their picture versus them, and I'm like,
We need a retake
yeah.
update.
I was like, no, I don't even want to retake it because I love it. I was like, this is 3 years.
Yep.
3 years of hard work I get to see for the people that started in the beginning, and that was huge. So those are some things with Ark that like I cherish.
I will say, I remember the first time I came up here, and from the very beginning, you, Noah, everybody else was very welcoming. I remember we went to was it Pacas? Is that
Oh
the
my
name of it?
gosh, yeah. Whenever you got no sauce on your food.
Yep. Oh, good old
I'm like, this
plain
weirdo.
plain chicken, rice, and veggies, broccoli, and you were sitting there trying to give me some of yours, right? Try some of this sauce. Why are you eating the plain?
Your shoulders.
Yeah, yeah. And then you introduced me
It's a good
to
way to
your
describe
mom's Thanksgiving stuffing, and oh boy,
Stuffing.
oh boy, that is quite the treat.
Oh, yeah.
You got to
I
experience that last
no.
Thanksgiving, right? No,
Did your mom bring
Didn't
it
have
last Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Yeah,
She did?
she had like
Okay.
2 containers
I
of. I think I took
I
one home.
probably had some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One was specifically for Steven.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yep.
Yes, I think you took that home.
yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
Well,
sure.
I did. It didn't last long.
Yeah. Right.
But I just want to say, I know transforming physiques is a huge part of a gym, and something people might not realize that it goes a little bit beyond that. It's therapeutic, right? So it's gym. The gym is therapy, and it's critical for mental health. I just love how you and Noah have created such a safe environment for anyone to come through the doors, just to feel safe, seen, heard. They can talk to anybody in the gym and feel comfortable. I just love how you guys have built this community that way, and it's such a safe place for everyone.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to mention that because I know you take pride in it, and
Mhm.
it's something we see every day. People come through the doors,
Mhm.
no matter what they're going through, they feel comfort in talking to any of us. So
Mhm.
I just want to say thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you. It means the world, because we just wanted to create that space. There's nothing that makes me more happy than whenever people walk in and they're like, the air is different in here.
Hmm.
And I'm like, yes, that's what I want.
Yeah.
You get the air is different, or the vibe, whatever people like to say.
Yep.
It's not, it sounds cliche, and like I've been telling people this that don't come here for the last year and a half, like it genuinely feels different in here, and that's because of the culture that you and your husband have fostered, and it's
Yep.
Thank you.
fantastic.
Thank you.
I mean, we all play a part in it, but you guys are the
Absolutely.
ones that started it, and it's a testament to you guys.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Being that 3 years as a small business and as a, you know, locally owned, privately owned gym, you guys being open still and thriving as a gym
Yeah.
for 3 years is a huge accomplishment.
Yeah. Especially after COVID. Like that was
Right.
scary.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't know how things were going to be after that.
People were scared to come into a gym after
Absolutely.
that, and you guys have done very, very well. So
Thank
I
you.
give you a lot of credit for that.
Thank
That's
you.
for sure.
Cool. We're running a little short on time, so I wanted to hop into our last talking point, more on business endeavors, kind of your view of the future of Ark and yourself. You recently just moved into a Victorian home after living in Dillsburg for a little bit. So you also were able to purchase a Victorian home beside the one you just purchased.
Yes.
And that's the one you've been working on recently, painting like crazy.
Yes.
So the plans for that kind of involve that becoming an Airbnb, correct?
Correct.
All right. How much is working on that and your own Victorian home meant to you? Because I know you grew up in those, right?
Yeah. No, it's funny because like what I've been explaining to Noah is Ark is his baby. Ark is both of our baby, but Ark is Noah's baby. It's something he's been passionate about. I've been blessed to be able to be by his side through it. But where I've always found my love is I love real estate. I always said I'm not a book savvy. I'm not, you know, anything like that. So I knew I didn't want to be a realtor. But I grew up around Victorian homes. My grandma, she owned a Victorian my entire life. And I just specifically remember like she had that like pristine, everything that you could think of that is Victorian, my grandma had. So I grew up like antiquing. I grew up in the house where I was like, am I allowed to sit on this? Like, you don't sit drinks down. You don't, but it's like, it was so busy in there, but it was so beautiful. And it's so like, I can't even explain it. Like it's just a special thing to me. We would go on Victorian home tours together, all that. So I've always appreciated not just real estate, but architecture. Like anything that you can't do now is just so gorgeous to me. That's why I love classic cars. That's why I love like anything from a different period of time. Not that I don't appreciate like the builds that are coming up now, but I'm like, where's the personality, people? Like,
It's
where's
not what you like.
no, I'm
Yeah.
like, where's the gingerbread woodworking? Where is the, you know, all of these different things like the cupolas, the everything that was so beautiful to the time period, you just don't see anymore. So what it's meant to me, it's huge. Like this is my baby. So I was so excited to be able to like honor my grandma. She passed away in 21 from COVID. Um, but being able to be in the Victorian that I was in just already felt like a monumental moment for me. But long story short, I remember like a few weeks ago, I looked at it was actually back in April. I looked at Noah and we were in the car and he was just quiet. And I looked at him, I was like, I have a pipe dream. And he's like, okay, what's that? Because we always say like big dreams. Let's see if we can do them. And I looked at him and I was like, we're gonna own the house next door. And he's like, no. And I was like, yeah, we're gonna own it. And it wasn't even 2 weeks later. We saw the guy outside. He was blocking our carport and he was like, I'm so sorry, I can move it. I'm just out here. I'm getting ready to get this house ready to sell. And I was like,
what?
excuse me? So Noah called me and he's like, you need to come see this. I'm inside the house next door. And I lost it. And so then we made it like our life mission at that moment to make it happen because I was like, there's nothing that's more important to me than trying to not collect, but like to get as many of these homes that we can to just keep them because so many people don't find the appreciation in them like I do. And especially with it being another tower home, that's a huge thing to me. And to be able to have it in Airbnb, it's sort of like Cycle, where I can pull in something that I love and have other people appreciate it with me. That's why I'm excited about it being an Airbnb because then I'm like I can keep this time period correct. I can keep everything how it's supposed to be, but put things that are meaningful and passionate and keeping the history of the home in the house and share it with others. I'm like, it's a no-brainer.
Yep.
So I'm super excited about it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So and like just like really quick, like the house originally it was built in 1870. It was a midwifery. So babies were born in it. And then after it was a midwifery, it switched into a jelly factory. Because I've been doing a ton of research. I own all the books on all Mechanicsburg history, sort of a nerd with it. And
So
it turned
like grape jelly, like Or
I don't
what kind of
know.
jelly?
I have been trying anyone that watches
Petroleum,
this.
something.
No, it is like eating jelly, like
Okay.
Yeah.
food jelly, because it
Gotcha.
turns out that the woman and her daughter that lived in there, her husband was a toaster salesman.
Mm,
And
interesting.
He's a smart guy.
yeah, well, his sales weren't doing well, apparently. So
Yeah.
she started sending him with her homemade jelly
Hmm.
to put on the toast that he was making to try and sell these toasters. And it turned into the jelly was more popular than the toasters. So they turned the home into a jelly factory, which is why there's so many additions on it, which is why it's a lot bigger than our house. It's really nice.
Darn.
I'm in this one. I'm like, dang it.
Yeah.
But so then it was a jelly factory. But then during World War II, there was the what is it called? The sugar. I know this.
Sugar shortage?
Yeah, it's a
No.
sugar shortage. I forget what they called it. But then they had to close the jelly factory. So then that's whenever the Hartungs bought it, which is the family that we actually bought it from. So they have owned the house since the 50s. So that is why I was like, these homes that are sprinkled around Mechanicsburg barely come up for sale because
Right.
it is generations of families that live in them.
Right.
And that's why I'm like so passionate. I'm like, I want to try and get as many as I can because my fear is of people buying them and not appreciating them for what they are.
Right.
Or breaking them
So
down. And,
exactly.
yeah.
So I have all the newspaper articles. I have the original watercolor painting of the homes. I have everything, and I'm going to be putting that into the Airbnb so that people can learn the history of the home.
Yeah.
That's sick.
So
Like,
yeah,
what are the odds? You know, like it's just meant to be.
it is.
That's crazy.
It is.
That's awesome. That's super cool.
Yeah.
So I know we spoke about the future of Ark with Noah, but I'd like to hear kind of what your view of the future, what Ark looks like in that,
Mhm.
and also the future for you. I know you're super passionate about your self-expression, ink, music, fitness, animals. All those things are important to you. What do you see yourself? Do you see yourself like branching out and doing a little something in that realm along with Ark, or you
Mhm.
know?
So the future of Ark, every time Noah says about another location, I start to like get sweaty.
Cringe.
I'm like, but I know it's what is supposed to happen. I don't know when. I always say, you know, in God's timing, because that's how it seems to be with everything that we open. Because we're always like, there's literally no physical possible way this is going to happen, and then doors open.
Yeah.
And then the owner offers to sell you his house.
Literally, like out of nowhere, just weird
Yeah.
things. But I would love to see another location. We already are pretty firm on the fact that we don't want to franchise, because we don't ever want Ark to lose that
What
that
makes it
air,
special?
Yeah.
that special air.
Yeah, you
you
can't
know,
lose what you have in here, no doubt.
right? Because we also can't clone people that we have here.
Mhm.
But I know that, you know, with timing, with the correct building, the correct people will come too.
Oh, could you imagine 2 Noahs?
No, my gosh, no.
Whoa. We love you, Noah. Sorry.
Love you so much.
I don't know how that much energy would fit into another person.
That
Oh,
man
it's
just doesn't
insane.
stop. Like
No.
it literally he doesn't stop. But then whenever he stops hard, and it's always at home whenever I need him. I'm like,
Yep.
but no, so I know it's bound to happen. As far as like future with me, I would love to remain extremely present like at Ark. But I do see myself, you know, wanting to do more with these, you know, Victorian homes and different things. But that's why it's so awesome having Ark and having the flexibility that we have. Not that I don't want to be present here, but I'm so happy, and it's literally half a mile from here.
Yeah.
So I can
Yeah.
walk. Do
Couple
I walk?
blocks.
No.
That was something else I wanted to bring up. You guys lived in Dillsburg, so that
Mhm.
was a good 20, 25 minutes maybe, something like that.
It was about like 15 is not enough. 20 is sometimes too much. So it's like
Depends on the traffic.
17 minutes
Yes.
approximately.
Yeah, so it must feel pretty special to actually like be in the community now.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's
super
so
close.
cool because we love everyone at Mechanicsburg Borough is amazing. We're very like in the know with everyone there. So being able to actually live here and own a business here and now have 2 businesses here
Mhm.
is
Yeah.
super, super cool. And this is also where we graduated. So we graduated from Mechanicsburg High School. So we've always loved the town, and it's safe here and it's home. And so, yeah, it is significantly better having a 3-minute ride here. Sometimes it's bad because then you can't get Noah to leave, you know, the typical.
Yep.
Or I'm like, where the heck did he go? Pull up location and he's here. And I'm like, dang it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a blessing to be close and to have, you know, the space that we do.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, my friend, that's probably it for now,
Yeah.
anyway.
I know.
Yeah.
Until we have, more updates on the home.
Yeah.
That'll be sick.
Yeah, no, I would love
But-
to bring more updates as we have them. And we are shooting for September to have it open. So we're going to have an open house, which we'll post about.
Awesome.
And hopefully in the next few months here, you're going to start to see more equipment coming into Ark.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because
Super
we are
pumped.
so close to paying off the prime.
How about another buffing cooler? Just
Honestly,
kidding.
Another cooler,
just
Steven?
black and white
Just
cooler.
right.
Dude.
Exactly, a personal.
I'm
You
gonna
can-
buy you a mini fridge just
Yes,
for yours.
please.
You could
Please.
sponsor one, and we
Yes.
could name it like the Steven Cooler.
That would be incredible.
Cooler than Steven.
Yep.
But no, the goal is to hopefully eventually carry the hummus fit meals here.
Yeah.
So that is phase 2 with the Buffin Hummus Fit crew. So
Y'all listening?
Yeah.
Hey. No, Liana is fantastic. The owner of Hummus Fit. Me and her have already been chatting. The issue is
Delivery.
no, not even
No?
delivery, because they drive from New York to
Yeah, I
us
know.
every single
Every
week.
year. Every
Love our
week.
delivery driver.
Yeah.
He's fantastic. The issue is space. Like trying to find space in the gym to put all those coolers for food.
True. Yeah.
So phase 2, people. That's what we're looking
Some
for.
exciting things coming up.
Lots coming. So
Yep.
yeah.
Alrighty, guys.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you hopping
Thank
on,
you.
taking some time out of your busy schedule and busy home renovation kind of things.
I'm going
Hopefully-
back, changing, and starting painting again.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
At least you've had a good break. Thankfully.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
You
I
get some
just
get some
sit
rake
in-
straws on the way back, since
I'm
it's
trying
basically your
to
neighbor.
be good, but they did just come out with that peach bourbon.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah. Mhm.
That
So-
sounds dangerous.
It's extremely dangerous.
Alrighty.
Awesome, guys.
We'll see y'all.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
Thank
See you
y'all for
next time.
tuning in. Bye, guys.
Time for a buffin'.